from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Good day. Welcome to the show. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Good day.
It was a good day. So my phone exploded.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You know when some event happens in the world and there's just notification. You shut them off. But the New York Times and the Freep, every one of them. The creator of SpongeBob SquarePants died today.
What?
I'm like,
This is news to me, Mike.
yeah. It's news.
Really?
I couldn't give a shit less about. I guess he had ALS.
It's a bummer.
51 years old. I don't even know his name, but it's like, all right, I got it. The guy fucking died. Leave me alone. Leave me alone with this one.
Is it
Jesus.
SpongeBob fans?
SpongeBob was
Jesus.
huge. For one, I was, and
Yeah.
two, it was huge, Mike. Like I've never even honestly.
Jesus, I can't trust your judgment anymore. Tiny Toons is great.
Tiny
SpongeBob
Toons is great, but
Simpsons.
no. The thing about SpongeBob that was so crazy to me personally was like a lot of those kid shows. They last like a one generation, right? Like for whatever reasons, you guys have like maybe I had Tiny Toons, and then kids 5 years older have whatever a different thing. But SpongeBob went a long time, and still it was
Did it
relevant.
span generations? No, I don't think it
Dude,
did.
yeah, dude, that was
How long did it go, Easus?
that was on when I was in high school, and there were
Are you
still
talking
kids
in rerun mode, like in
No,
what's
I'm talking about making new episodes and still relevant, like where kids were still like you could give a kid a SpongeBob toy. I think even a few years ago, and it was
Yeah.
still. And it was.
Did you like it, Jay? Did you ever see it?
I mean, it came out in 99, so I was not watching it in 99 when it came out,
Yeah.
but I've definitely seen many episodes of SpongeBob. Dude,
Really?
Tiny girl!
Tiny girl.
But
She
see,
was big
that's
time into
but
it.
that see,
I've
though,
never
that's-
seen a single episode.
That proves my point, though. If don't you think that's usually unusual that someone like it was on when I was in high school and that your
242
girl
episodes.
for a cartoon like that? I just thought that was.
I mean, Bugs Bunny, if you want to look at runs,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
look across
Yeah.
generations for Looney Tunes and so forth.
my
Simpsons?
point is, I think that it was a very big. I think it was bigger than normal.
Well, when I was
for-
going out to Arizona, I was like, "Hey, what's Marshall into? You got to show up with a gift of some sort." And I guess he's huge into Mickey Mouse all of a sudden. And it's like, so that it doesn't surprise me that kids, if it's a cartoon and it's good to kids,
Well, plus it had kind of you could watch it as an older person, SpongeBob, just like your Looney Tunes. I think. Like,
Yeah, there's a couple times in each episode where you definitely at
Oh.
least chuckle.
Really?
Just by the face SpongeBob makes or something.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I remember like the movie.
there's
Are there moments for adults in there?
Yes.
No,
I
no.
disagree, but
Like, there's a lot of hidden humor in shows where it's like, even the dad it'll go over a kid's head.
I don't think so.
Well, I
Maybe a
remember-
little bit.
I remember going to the movie, and it's like I went with my sister because I was way too old to be going to watch the SpongeBob movie in theaters. So my sister, she was probably too old too in reality. Maybe not too old, but she was
We got it.
closer. And like there was a thing in the movie where they got quote unquote. Basically they got drunk, but it was on ice cream, and they woke up the next day and couldn't remember anything, and they were
Hungover.
sick, and they're like throwing up, and they're like, "Oh, what did we do last night?" And I was like, "They just got shit faced, man." Like,
You get
On
drunk
ice
on ice
cream.
cream? It's
well, that's what I
weird.
thought. Though the point was kids to me. I thought like a kid might be like, "Wait a minute, so if I have too much ice
Ugh.
cream, will I forget things that happened the night before?"
Yeah, to answer your question then, Mike, I guess there's some adult humor as evidenced by E's recollection.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, our cartoons, they just got, like Mexican mice got drunk as shit.
Yeah.
If they put XXX on the bottle,
Mm.
you knew it was adult beverages being consumed. They didn't have to fake us out with ice cream cones, which is absurd. What's with your hat, by the way?
I got a new hat, Mike.
You sure did.
Yeah.
What is
the,
that?
The fellas at Zot, it's the Cobra.
Whoa, it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. I
The
like
fellas
that.
at Zot Ford threw it in, with my new lease and all.
Well,
I had the pleasure of spending the morning over with Steve Gabar and the boys.
things are starting to make sense right now, because I thought Brent Wasik was kind of a weirdo. Because he was like, yeah, he said something about your boy, Zot Ford. And I was like, yeah, I had no idea you were getting a car. You don't run things like that by me usually.
Not typically. No.
Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of playing it off like, yeah, maybe he's talking about Gabara or something. And then when he was leaving, he's like, yeah, I'll send your boy over here, see him at Zot Ford. I was like, okay, crazy man, see you later. Bye.
Yeah, so just a normal day, listeners, where Mike and I just use our sponsors,
Right.
multiple sponsors every day.
Sorry, Brent, for thinking it was coming off weird.
Yeah,
But I
and-
didn't know. I didn't know.
And then, as Wasik indicated, gave a call over to Wasik and
Hell
took
yeah.
care of my insurance needs.
Took
Great
care of mine
day.
too. Guess who's got insurance as of Jan?
Whoa. Health insurance?
Health, dental, vision.
What?
Son of a bitch, yes.
Wow.
Yep, I gotta make it 5 weeks. I gotta stay alive for 5 weeks.
Bubble wrap that son of a bitch.
Yep.
Didn't get any life insurance, did you?
No.
We need to get key man insurance on you, Mike.
Could I have you as a
beneficiary?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a key man in this operation.
But here's the
Mike.
problem. We could do that, but the problem is,
Yeah,
I think you have to
never pass a health inspection.
Well, probably not. Maybe we could send you in my place acting as me. The problem is,
Send me with a Wizinator.
you have to have the policy for like 2 years before they'll pay out on a suicide, and so. Like, dude, the odds that I could hold out
Right.
that long.
Should have got the clock running a long time ago.
Yeah, you should have brought this up years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. So what'd you get?
I got another escape.
Very
It's
good.
probably my 5th escape. No shit. Like
Yeah.
in my lifetime, I just keep rolling over in escapes going, why didn't I just buy one of these and
Yeah.
keep it for 20 years? But
Yeah.
it's always fun to get a newish car.
Short.
I got it.
Wait.
Yeah, newish.
Ish.
I leased, I've never done this before. I leased a freaking demo, dude.
Oh, boy.
The price was right.
Of
Mike,
course it was.
But it's scary, right? Because you know how demos are treated.
Yeah.
It's got 2,000 miles on it. I leased it. I still get the mileage
The
per
warranty
year
or-
above that.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
and it's
okay.
still warranty and all that. But dude, you know that shit has jumped some gullies.
Really? See, with
You know,
how
has been expressed in that fucker.
much damage can you do in 2,000 miles?
Have you rented a car, Mike?
I have.
Have you rented a car and driven it at 45 to 100 miles? Full tilt.
Yeah,
You have,
yeah.
haven't you? Yes.
So,
this has been driven 2,000 miles at full tilt.
okay, hold on.
Screeching around corners. Remember that video we saw the other day with that car coming in hot?
Oh yeah, we're gonna see some more videos like that today too, dude. But okay, hold on. But I don't think you can get a demo unless you're 25, right? And so the demos, it's not like a 16-year-old
True.
was like, oh yeah, my 16. You know, a 16-year-old.
Yeah, but I'm-
fuck that thing up like crazy.
I'm in my 40s. Every time I rent a car, I treat it the same way.
Do you really? I'm trying to think if I've ever like beaten the dog shit out of a rental.
Oh my gosh, gentlemen, Easus.
Well, the problem is for me is it depends on if I get the insurance or not. If I actually if I risk it and
Yeah.
don't get the insurance, then I'm not going to do that. But
I
if I
mean-
do, I mean, dude, when I went down to Texas at one time with me and Mickey, I remember like
You
we had
know-
full insurance and we just the whole weekend was fully covered.
Yeah, you're
and we
gonna-
just fucking opened doors or whatever, drilling it.
No. I
No.
don't do shit like that. But you're gonna drift
No,
it a little bit here and there, right? 13 and Franklin, that weird
Dude.
corner right there. You're gonna drift it.
You realize I'm talking to two guys right now who one has used my car many times,
Oh,
and the other I've offered my car
Oh,
to.
well,
I've said,
you know.
E, if you're doing a 1,000-mile trip or something, I got the miles.
I don't
and both of
consider
you
that-
had now admitted if it's not your car,
no, I
you're
don't.
drifting.
That would be,
You're
for
drifting
one, that
in
would
my
be
car.
different.
If
And
it's
two,
big corporate America's car, I think that way,
Oh,
but
is
not
that-
you, Mike. That's like that's a personal friend. I would never do that.
Have
But
you ever-
E, no, I don't open doors and
I didn't
shit
mean it.
into
I didn't mean it
people.
like. I didn't
Well,
mean it like that. I was trying to just say like we just like parking and not worrying where we park.
Yeah.
Like maybe maybe if you have a new car, you might park far back. But
He's
like
just whipping his door into.
I more meant
car.
just like it was just a joke of like your point though was just like, dude, whatever, man, we could fucking total this thing
I'm
fully covered.
flooring it every chance I get. Right?
Really? See,
Yeah.
Okay. See, but
Taking corners at 10
Yeah,
to
dude. When
10
I've
to
rented
15
when I've rented
MPHs
cars,
higher.
with
yes.
an Escape, really a 4-banger Escape? You're flooring it. What are you, 5? Dude, I get it if you've like rented it. You're out of state in in Florida and you rent a Mustang convertible
Yeah.
and you want to smoke it up and down the coast. Fine. The only time I can think of was when Bob and I went and visited G in Phoenix, and Deuce came in from San Diego, and Bob was like, going all out, renting a Ferrari or a
man.
Porsche. He rented a Porsche at like, I don't know,
Porsche?
$1,000 a day or some shit. And it was like, well, yeah, we got to beat the shit out of this a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But that's a Porsche.
Yeah.
An Escape.
True. Okay, so
It's
you're
a
saying
relative.
I just leased a gently used Escape then.
Okay.
It wasn't terribly used. It was
Yeah.
gently used.
I'd love to see video of the previous people that drove it, because you're right. I mean, they're not going to treat it like it's their own, but I don't know that people are out there just ragging on it.
Yeah.
I think you're okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zott Ford,
Congratulations on the new car
Thank
and
you.
hat.
speaking of the Zott Ford and the fine folks over there, Steve Gabarra and the hottest sales staff in Oakland County are excited about Zott Ford's Black Friday Sign and Drive Zero Cash Due event, which has been extended and is going on now. Lease a new 18 Ford Fusion as low as $121 a month, sign and drive, zero cash due, or lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $141 a month, sign and drive, zero cash due.
Did you have zero cash due on yours? Were you able to sign and drive?
Oh, zero cash due, Mike.
Nice.
How about leasing a new 18 Ford Edge as low as $177 a month. Sign and drive, zero cash due. Finally, lease a new 18 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x4 as low as $212 a month. Sign and drive, zero cash due.
Very good. Did you see the video of the hang glider?
Oh, yeah. I sent you
Dude.
this, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That was just
Oh, that was just banter.
banter. Yeah.
Setup. Gotcha.
Setup. Yeah. Hey, did you happen to see this?
Okay.
I
think I did. I think I sent you that very video.
I think I sent you the link. Theater of the mind. Come on, don't break the
Got
fourth
it.
wall. God damn it.
So should I have said I didn't see it? What did you want there?
You know what?
What would be better? What would be best for the
Well,
listening
no.
audience?
Here's the problem with what you
Mike,
did.
I hadn't seen this.
No.
Show it to me. I'm excited to see it.
I don't want you to lie to the audience ever. What you should have done in that situation, go, yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. But when you said I sent it to you, now you just told the audience that I'm a liar because I knew the answer to that question.
Mike, for a second there, I forgot we had an audience. I'm sorry. I was so comfortable here.
Yeah.
I forgot about the
Yeah,
audience.
that's good. That's good. Anyway, if you haven't seen the video, like Jay and I have, it is unbelievable. And this is, I think, anyone's like ultimate fear. This was you and I in the Red Bull plane jumping out,
That was it, man.
right?
Where you got to make sure you're. That was my thing, right? You are strapped to me, right? You're definitely buckled in, right? I'm telling
Yeah.
the guy who's tandem with
Was
me.
your Andy? Was that?
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, dude, right here. We're good. We're good.
Gotcha.
And that was my, like, you tumble out and you're freaking out. Oh my God. But then when you realize the guy's still on my back, he's still there.
That was the moment.
the pro is still there.
Yep.
We're good.
When I tumbled out, it was like, oh my God, this is like as soon as it was like, okay, he didn't fall off to the right of me and I'm just whipping towards the ground now. As soon
Right.
as that moment hit me, all panic was off and it was just pure joy. But dude, seeing this hang glider,
He
Fuck.
realizes within seconds, oh my God, I'm not hooked to this guy. And I now have to hang from the handle.
well, it is a hang glider.
I now have to hang simply by one hand on the handle part and then the other hand on the hang glider instructor guy.
They're 4,000 feet
I know.
up for 2 minutes,
I know.
14 seconds. What are the odds that enough adrenaline could kick in that I would be able to pull this off?
Boy,
My guess is I am gone within 4 seconds.
really?
I seriously
Yeah.
what that no, I think that's a very interesting question to me for
It
anybody.
would have to be adrenaline.
Like,
There's no way with my noodle pussy arms, it would be all adrenaline
You
that would
can't
have.
hang from a bar for a couple minutes.
I don't
Just
think that
hang.
I
I'm not
could.
asking you to
Yeah.
pull yourself up. Just
Okay.
hang.
Yeah,
Just
that's a
hang.
good point. That's a good
And
point.
glide. Hang and glide.
The winds are. He's like whipping with the winds and stuff, dude. I don't think. And the
I
think
I give
you
you
could
guys
do it.
more credit.
Really?
I really think you could do this. Would it be scary as fuck? Yes.
show of hands. Who would like to see E try this just to test it?
Second,
so guess
second.
one. Democracy. All right,
Yay.
let's watch the video. The guy's name is Chris Gursky.
There it is.
There's
circle.
me, Chris
Not
Gursky.
attached. Attached.
Yes.
God, how did you miss
One,
this?
go. Run.
Oh,
no,
it's
no,
beautiful, isn't it?
no.
Wait a minute. Switzerland or something?
Yeah. Houston, we have a problem. Oh my God, dude.
That would be.
Immediately.
Oh,
Just holding onto the guy's
that-
back.
That's instant death, right?
Oh my god, that would be terrifying.
And they have a second GoPro out front of him, right?
Do they?
That'd be fun to see as well.
Oh,
that
yeah.
angle. But yeah, the guy's trying. So he has sort of a plateau within 20 seconds here where he ideally would like to land, but he's unable to.
Yeah.
And so he's got to go.
I guess we're going to the bottom of the mountain.
Oh my god, did you go over this
Yeah,
hill?
he wasn't able to bring her down that quick.
Oh my God, dude, this is hard to like watch. I'm getting like, whoa. I might seize.
You could hang on like
Yeah,
that.
you're right. I mean, I believe that you could.
Would you be hanging onto him though, or would you just want
Yeah.
both arms on the bar?
I don't know. I might ask him, like, what's better? Would it be easier for you to land this fucker soon if I just hold onto the bar? And there, he's gone to just the bar, right? No,
he's-
okay.
What is he holding onto? The strap on that guy.
strap on the back, which is making the pilot kind
Oh,
of.
dude, go
Yeah,
back for a second.
switched.
He was one-handed he's one-handed for a second. That's okay. Oh shit.
Another guy's holding him too, though. See, the other guy has one hand on his.
Oh, on the belt. Yeah, the strap on his shoulder.
God, that's harrowing. Oh, look at
Dude.
that beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
scenery,
It's
though.
absolutely
that hairpin
stunning.
turn right there. My God, what a beautiful country.
What do you do when you
This would be
land?
incredible
Do you let
if
him
you were-
unstrap before you beat the dog shit out of him, or
Yeah, this must have been a two-man operation at the top of the mountain, right? Nobody behind that would have noticed that.
yeah?
Must have just been them two.
Oh, that pilot must feel like such an asshole. Oh man, I forgot to strap my guy in. Look at this,
This is
dude.
a long
Why do you
time.
not have the video up on the screen? E? Oh, you're having a problem with it?
Look at the turf depth and the greenish hue.
It's just luscious.
Emerald green.
Too bad the listeners can't see it. But, oh, man.
Almost
Can they
there.
normally
And then
see
what
it?
do? You're telling this guy, like,
Yeah.
what's he got to do
Win.
now? Just, like, start running? He is coming in hot.
Yeah.
You just start pumping your legs?
I think you lift your legs. And what do you mean? The listeners usually can't see it.
Does he drop now? He just drops?
His legs hit the ground, and it ripped him off the thing.
Dude, they were flying, man. They were cooking. I wish they would have done that at full speed and not slow mode it, you know?
Yeah.
You would have got more of a sense of how quickly he was going when he let go.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I mean,
Radius fracture of his wrist. That's
oh
it.
yeah, he had big time surgery.
Titanium plate, 7 screws installed.
Mhm.
Released the following afternoon.
Mr. Gursky had to hang on for 2 minutes 14 seconds as the guy tried to steer with one hand.
Tore his left bicep tendon too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God, that guy can't teach. He can't do that anymore, right? We have to just take his license to do that
Not
away
allowed,
now.
not allowed to hang glide
Yep,
anymore.
sorry. Yep. I looked down to see my feet hit first, which ripped me off at about 45 miles an hour. Why did they slow that down? You're right. That would have been way funner to see at 45 miles an hour. And I was under the landing gear. The landing was a rough one, but I lived to tell the story. Despite it, he says,
The whole time I would have been yelling to the guy, "How do I land here? Feet out, feet back? What do I do?"
in the rare chance that I don't fall off and land in a tree and die.
Seriously.
How do I? Wouldn't you be like, okay, I obviously have to lift my feet and try to?
Do I get on your back? I'd be like, that would be my main thing.
Be like, dude, just hang on. Don't be retarded. Of course, you don't want to just put your feet down and let it rip you off the bottom of it. I mean, think about it.
man.
We're coming in hot. You just get your feet up. You
Yeah.
want to just kind of slide
Do I
on
do
your
an
heels.
iron cross at this point?
No,
What do I do?
you just slide on your heels and gently put your caboose down on the grass. You don't just like.
Dude, you put your heels down, your heels catch, you go forward, face plant. You have to, that's why that thing is structured such that their legs are back, they land on their belly. Right? But I would want to try to replicate that. I'd be like, how do I do this?
And he's gonna go, I have no idea. No one's ever been.
That's
in this
when I
situation
climb on that
before."
motherfucker's back. You're hitting first, dude.
Yeah, and that's fair. I think that's a
Yes.
fair decision to make him do that. Some people, so he's not even mad at this guy. He did all he could to get me down to the ground as quickly as possible. Yeah, but he forgot to lock you into your fucking seatbelt, dude. For real? Pilot should have crash landed immediately. End of story. That's what some people are saying, that hang glide for fun or whatever. But he did all he could and more. He's a good guy. Well, I believe there was a little more he could do. Like, I don't know, hook you up in the first place.
I guess this guy's saying because he was creating such a drag on the side, he was unable to land on that first plateau. So he's really given this pilot a huge break by
but
giving him.
They knew right away that this
I
is
know.
a problem. Wouldn't you be better off just like nose diving that thing into the ground right there, 10 feet off the
Killing
ground?
both of you, Mike? 10 feet. They're immediately way the fuck up there.
You think so? You think?
Yeah, dude. Several hundred feet in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
They went off like a fucking ledge on the side of a hill.
Let me see the very, very beginning again. See if there's an opportunity to nosedive this thing. Okay, there he is.
Let's see where it registers in his head. Like we are.
Oh,
my
shit,
God,
right there.
we're
Nosedive.
unhooked.
Nosedive. Right into that
like,
house.
wait,
Right into the
you're
house.
unhooked
they're
right
going
now?
already.
Yeah, you're already 100 feet up.
Yeah. Okay. God, that's gorgeous. I want to go there.
Which I guess, yeah, maybe you hit that bunch of trees. I don't know.
Yeah. He doesn't look like the most in shape guy
Right.
either. You know what I mean? Like,
But
it's
that's
one
the
thing if you
man,
see some
you
guy.
could hang from a fucking pole. Think about it. You're just hanging.
It still has your weight on it. And if you're just kind of a portly, out of shape guy, I mean,
Gentlemen.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure that I could for sure hang on a pole for 2 minutes. I wouldn't like to do it, but I'm sure that I
It's not
could.
a greased pole.
And you're
Yeah.
right. Pulling up is one thing. I don't even think I can do a pull up, but
by the way,
hanging on a pole.
in the unlikely incident that anyone in the room gets in that situation, what you're supposed to do is hook your elbow over the bar and then hold your arm with your other hand.
Gotcha.
That's what you're supposed to do.
probably should give that as part of the instructions when you're sitting down and telling you in
If
case
they said that before we took off, I'm not going with them. In the unlikely event that we become unhooked at some point, yeah, I'll pass. Pass.
Well, give it another
They have to tell
opportunity to
you.
go, but we're hooked, right? Yeah, we're hooked. We're good.
We're good. Wow.
Hey, tackle ball season is heating up, so stop by the Hamlin Pub to watch your favorite team on one of their numerous TVs and enjoy sports specials like the $7 medium hand-tossed pizzas, boneless wings, or Nacho Supreme. Of course, these specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pub locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township.
Brief update on the John Chow story, the American missionary. It sounds like the Indian authorities are getting inundated with calls going, leave the fucking dude's body on the beach.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. Don't try to get it. Fuck it. It's done. It's what we've been saying. Maybe they listen to us. But I reading this stuff like from his family and friends, and they're saying that or one of the Mary Ho, international executive leader of all nations, some Christian missionary organization, had discussed the risks with Mr. Chow and sent him on the mission.
Ooh.
Seems odd, to support him in his life's calling. He's been thinking about this since like early high school. He wanted to have a long-term relationship and, if possible, to be accepted by them and live amongst them.
He envisioned himself breaking the ice with a little tackle ball on the beach.
Yeah. He claimed,
and then he'd be wearing a loincloth sitting around a fire in no time.
Dude, he got on the beach that first day, and because he wrote in his journal when he got away, he wrote, "My name is John. I love you. Jesus loves you." Foof, hit with an arrow. Yep. God. My name is John. I love you, and Jesus loves you. A 10-year-old boy was like, "Funk" with an, and the only thing was
spear and arrow. You always do the spear throwing thing when you go arrow.
Well,
spear was much different than an arrow.
Yeah. Whichever one you throw.
Spear.
Sorry. Yeah, I was like, why does he keep correcting me on that? I can't be saying it wrong. Yes, I think it was an spear.
They could have had both. They could have, but
it sounds like they have bows and arrows, and then they have spears that they throw as well.
Yeah. Well, he was speared, I believe, with the when he had his Bible to his chest. My name is John. I love you, and Jesus loves you. Funk. Oh. Better should have thought this through more.
That's rough.
Turns and runs back into the water. But yeah, it's good. The Survivor International said Indian authorities should call off the operation. It poses too great a risk to both them and the Sentinelese. Any efforts to recover the body would be incredibly dangerous for both. His body should be left alone, as should this tribe. This echoed a joint statement by a group of Indian anthropologists, authors, activists. The rights and the desires of the tribe need to be respected, and nothing is to be achieved by escalating conflict and tension. And worse, it's creating a situation where more harm is caused. Plus, they're really worried about any sort of thing that interrupts their,
whatever they're doing,
their little ecosystem, or can risk them. They're serious. A flu could wipe the whole thing out.
Yeah, he was reckless as hell, and he should have expected that if something happens to me here on, my body will remain here.
And you would think he would even write that in his notes, because he had to have read some of the stories that we've read. Because they're
a simple Bing search would have disclosed these.
Absolutely. I mean, as soon as you read like a helicopter flew overhead and they just chucked spears at it and shot bows and arrows at it, like they're not much for open discussions to vet you.
No.
So
how much? I've just because we talked about this island so much in the last little bit. How many different people around the island? Like, who are they hooking up with? There's got to be incest going on, right?
Yes, man. It's a single tribe. Would you say 150 of them?
So I wonder, how much though? Like how?
The whole time. Yeah, the whole thing's one big family.
Yeah. Do you have a problem with this, Ian?
No, it's just kind of funny.
I don't know that even the concept of incestuous relationships would matter to them, or my guess is no.
Sure, not at all.
And the fact is, when John ran up going, "My name's John, I love you. Jesus loves you too," and he was hit with spears. To them, he might have been running up just going booga booga booga, booga 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 booga.
Right.
Nobody knows what language they even speak.
I know, but I wonder when they start having sex and just as soon as they can, men and women just start fucking.
Yeah, I think one day a guy gets up with a heart on and just goes.
Have you ever seen the Blue?
I wonder if any of them are
Blue
gay.
Lagoon.
No, I actually haven't. But...
no, Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields, yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yeah, was she
and it was
like
really
16 in that or 15?
Controversial because she was young and they showed her nude.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember the poster, but I've never seen it. But I remember seeing the poster.
Was that the one where she had? Because I don't want to get it mixed up with 10 or whatever.
That's Bo Derek.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the one where she had like the braids in her hair?
Bo Derek.
That's Bo Derek. Okay. I don't know that I saw that then.
Yeah, Brooke Shields and this other dude,
the blonde Tarzan,
some 80s actor that you've seen a bunch of times, but have no idea what his name is.
Sure.
They got shipwrecked, and they might have been brother and sister. No, maybe not. I don't think they went there.
Yeah.
But they definitely, as soon as they hit puberty, I mean, they just started
banging.
Yeah, that fits in there and that feels good.
Yeah. It's like a cat knowing how to go in a litter box. We just know, you know.
Yeah, usually.
Well,
yeah.
I wonder what happens to the
that.
gay guys in that tribe. Like, what if there's a gay dude in there, dude? he just.
Hey, that's for them to deal with, man. I don't know how they.
How are they amongst the LGBT situation on the island?
Yeah, I feel bad for the one trans kid in there.
God, he is really overthinking this.
Yeah. Hey, we've got some news here. How long ago was it? Was it like 7 months ago that Parkland school shooting happened, and we got introduced to the wonderful
gun
David
violence was going to be solved, right?
Yeah, we fixed that. Otherwise, Hog's not going back to class. Remember?
Right.
Yeah. So, 3 assistant principals and a security chief have been fired over the failures. Now,
Principals, 3 of them, really.
yeah, I was gonna ask you, dude. Does that seem a bit much? Is that overkill on the assistant principal team?
Oh, dude, apparently that's a normal thing nowadays where there's tons of assistant principals, and that's a big problem with school costs, public school costs.
Yeah.
Is you just have this layer of administration that's
Oh
ridiculous.
boy,
Dude, no
Great.
wonder I did so shitty in school. I only had 1 assistant principal.
I think we had 3 at Harrison.
What?
Yeah.
Who was it? Wasn't it
We had Pelkey and 2
Pelkey.
others for sure.
who was the principal?
Bennett, I think. Mr. Bennett.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought Pelkey this whole time was our principal.
No, he
and
was
then
assistant, and there were 2 others.
what does the principal do versus the 3 assistant principals? Like, how much can there be?
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shit.
So
No, that's the thing, man. I've heard a lot about this, like where public school systems are just overrun with costs in large part because of this layer of administration.
so honestly, do you know what their job entails? Like seriously, are they just like hall monitors? Like what? I don't know what the cost
Like
of
they're
an assistant principal
administering
is
the system
on an assistant's level.
on an assistant level.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I thought that was weird. It jumped out. I was like, 3 fucking assistant principals. Jeez. So yeah, they've been fired for their failures to prevent the shooting, which 17 people died in that. I mean, that's crazy if you think about it. Lone gunman in a school. The staff are being reassigned. So they're just moving them around. It's like a priest, you know. I gotta move them.
So what were their failures specifically? Like,
well,
they weren't monitoring the hall.
They cited
properly?
a number of failures, and I guess they had not that.
Because maybe we're about to see what these guys were obligated to do. I mean, what you're about to say was a failure. Well, that's on the list of what a principal apparently does.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And they didn't do it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
Problem.
about it.
I guess they had recently a training for like a code red or a school shooter.
Code red
what
training.
to do.
Okay, got it. Code red training.
Got to get on and make sure. Call your boys, schools today and find out if they've got code red training.
They do.
They do. Well, missed opportunities here also with crews. Some of these guys. So a number of failures are raised by the commission, including communication breakdowns between police and school staff. They were also these also included the school's code red or active shooter procedures, as well as bathroom doors being locked. I guess kids were doing drugs, and so like, all right,
Okay,
you
so
guys don't get to go poop in here anymore.
bathroom door locks. Okay, I've got 2 duties so far. Go ahead.
I swear to God, I read up here too that where was it? Toilet doors being glued shut.
Okay, toilet doors, and these are not to happen. So these are
Yeah.
2 non-duties of principals.
You call
Don't lock
school.
the door. Don't glue the doors shut. Okay.
Why would you-
So far we have a code red training that they're obligated to do.
Okay. And so the problem with that, because you're probably thinking, well, what's wrong with gluing the doors shut? And why can't you lock the kids out of the bathroom? These are proper hiding spots.
Glue doors shut.
Dude, I was hoping you could answer that. I haven't been in a school in a long time. I didn't know what you guys are up to. I was
Doors
hoping you could
glued
go, well,
shut.
yeah, dude, if you don't glue the doors shut, X happens.
Jesus,
Duh.
you were in 2 8th grades. You ever see a toilet door glued shut? I
No.
bet that was a prank they pulled on an E-type character, right?
Actually, at our-
Made him-
actually-
made him crawl out.
Actually, in our school, we had
Quick thinking
we had
caulker.
to regularly have these certain bathrooms in the basement level. We had to just take off the bathroom doors because people were not to be trusted. People
You
were
had to
just
shit in public?
yes, dude.
Like it was
'cause-
Harpo's?
Yeah, dude. Like
Yeah, there were certain. Weren't there in locker rooms? Maybe that was
and
how
then
it
they
was.
just and then they
open
just started
stalls.
fucking shutting bathrooms because people were shitting in the urinals and stuff.
Oh,
So they just
your
had to
back gets all wet. I hate
you
doing
don't
that.
do it. And that sink is even worse.
Yeah.
Trying to get in there and then get out. Yeah, I don't know why that would be the assistant principal's fault if the toilet doors were glued shut. You not see it in time.
I think we can read into like a sort of like hall monitor duty. right?
Well,
Hall
Yeah.
/ bathroom monitor duty for an assistant. You go get your master's and become an assistant principal. This is what the type of work.
and then
you
you're
get.
that fucking weird valet in the fancy restaurant, sits in the shitter and just deals with that all
You're
night.
that guy
Wow.
with a master's degree.
Okay, here's the other problem. The school had also had, excuse me, not enacted hard corners. No fucking hard corners in classrooms, man.
Hmm.
What are they thinking?
Define for me.
Oh, you don't know what a hard corner is? Well, where students could take cover during a shooting. So it sounds like the people that were running the code red drills and the active shooter. All right. First off, unglue those fucking toilet doors. There's going to be a problem at some point. And then they put like hardcore, like a maze almost in a classroom. They'll put like a half a wall up so kids can run into a classroom and then like duck behind it. Oh,
Gotcha.
no one sees me. I think my idea is better, where the
Sort of
gun
Hollywood.
comes out of the wall.
Yeah, it's sort of
you know?
Hollywood, right? Where everybody assumes, oh, I'm behind a drywall wall, therefore you
Yeah.
can't hit me with this bullet. I mean, come on.
Dude, that's like
I guess it's
fucking-
better than nothing, right? Hide behind sort of a cinder block cutout area.
It's
Sure.
maybe a little bit better than
Yeah.
hiding under your sheets when the guys
Little bit.
the bad guys coming in. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like a thing that would work when I was a kid, but it probably wouldn't have. I don't know that hard corners would work. I think there's stretching here. Anyway, so yeah, the assistant principal, Jeff Morford, I always hated that guy. Assistant principal Winfred Porter Jr., assistant principal Denise Reed, and security specialist, not a security guard, he's a specialist, Kelvin Greenleaf, have all been reassigned to other positions in the county public school system. They also heard the commissioner hearings also heard that a student reported Cruz's weird behavior, such as researching guns on a school computer and saying how he liked to see people in pain. That's what he told fucking Morford.
Oh, Morford.
You know, Morford told him, yeah, you should go Google the word autism and promise Cruz will be withdrawn from the school at some point. And then he said, I don't remember having that conversation. What is the kid supposed to do with that? I mean, Google autism. Why? I'm telling you, this kid's searching guns and likes to see people in pain. You're telling me to Bing something?
Mm.
Terrible assistant principaling.
Lesford.
Boy, you've been hanging around me too long, dude. Lesford. Members of the panel called the sheriff's deputy, Scott Peterson.
Rooney, this
Rooney?
is Scott Peterson. Wait, didn't Scott Peterson murder his wife?
He did. He's out now, I guess. He dropped one T off his name. He goes by SCOT now.
Gotcha.
Don't trust a one-T'd Scott.
His unborn child, Connor.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Connor?
Oh,
The
absolutely. it
fetus
was.
that washed ashore.
Lacey and Connor.
Lacey and Connor.
They were together
Oh.
when they died, which is good. You want mother and son together.
God.
It's gonna go down like that. Mr. Peterson, who was assigned to guard the campus, the members of the panel called him a coward for hiding. And
Yeah,
not
that was the
rushing
guy we've
inside.
seen the video of, right?
Dude, video shows him, and as soon as the video became public, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna retire now. I'm gonna resign now.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. Thanks, guys." Dude, they said the video. If you watch the whole thing, after the shooting began, Peterson drew his gun and then retreated to cover next to the neighboring building. Peterson never left that spot for 50 minutes.
Oh,
Not
Peterson.
15, 5-0.
Dude, that's infuriating. If you're
Oh.
a parent of one of those 17 kids.
Even after other cops and deputies arrived at the scene, Peterson wouldn't move.
Peterson, you're a pussy.
Peterson's inaction allowed Cruz to climb to the third floor. So basically, at this point, he'd gone on his rampage downstairs, and 6 more people were shot and killed upstairs. And they're like, Peterson, had he gone in there,
Blood on his hands.
taken one for the team?
How do you live with yourself, Peterson?
Well, he's probably thinking, I got this little 9mm or whatever, and he's got an AK.
It's your job, man.
Oh. He resigned soon after the video emerged of him waiting outside the building, doing absolutely fuck all. Today, Cruz is facing a series of court hearings which could see him face the death penalty. I love this. Cruz's lawyers were like, all right, save the town a shitload of money. He'll plead guilty, just spare his life. They're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Now we'll go to trial. And so it sounds like they're going after the death penalty for this kid.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, why else would you spend the money? He's admitted guilt.
Suggests that, yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Dude, now this is kind of funny because this is just on teachers.
Well, school shootings normally are, E.
teachers.org, and it says like it just talks about how to become a vice principal. But the funny thing in it to me, I thought is like,
He
says,
acting like a producer, by
I
the
know,
way.
isn't that great?
Shit.
they interact with teachers, students, members of their community, and then it says vice president
How vague is that? They interact with teachers, students, and members of the community.
Yeah.
Interact with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vice
What if
principals.
that could be like a smile and a wink as you pass them on the
Yes.
sidewalk?
Vice principals deal with disciplinary actions, but here's the funny thing, and motivate students to turn away from negative behaviors and encourage positive actions in their students.
They're failing. Every principal,
Like,
vice principal I
that's
know has
part of
failed
their
miserably.
job.
Dude, fuck becoming a substitute teacher. I'm going to become a vice principal. Sounds
have
like
it
a
in you?
cushy job, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Unless your school gets shot up
Yeah.
and you left the fucking toilet door.
I did see on one thing that it did say a vice president or principal is a year-long job, but it says basically they spend their summers just budgeting out the money and dealing with
they
the
get their
schedule.
summers
Are they able to work from home?
It doesn't say.
Because if so, that's not a real job for a year-long thing. If you can just do your budgeting shit, I mean, how much
Dude,
budgeting
it
is there? They don't
basically-
get any funding.
Everything that I see basically seems like, why aren't these just with the principal? Then what is the principal doing? It's the one thing, like, another one here just says, oh, they deal with schedules, teachers, staff, students. Other duties may include supervising the ground. What is the principal doing then?
It's a layer of management, right? They're reporting to the vice. The teachers
Yeah.
are reporting to the vices. The
And he's just
vices are reporting up to the principal.
And so, what is the principal's primary position?
Primary
Does he just
He's
like
king.
he deals with the superintendent, and then the super?
He goes to like playoff games for
Right,
the basketball
Yeah,
team.
there
and
you
shit.
go. There you go. Yeah. What was that? There was something else in there you read. Oh, you know what? It said something about disciplinary. And,
Yeah.
like they dole out that stuff. Dude, if you become a vice principal, can you be that hard ass dude?
The
Would you-
paddle, bring back the paddle.
Yes, like corporal punishment.
I mean,
Bring it
I
back
don't
bigly.
know if that's allowed, Mike. but I'll
try,
think
I
about it.
suppose. It would probably take one before you'd be fired.
But couldn't you just be that guy that's like, oh shit, vice principal Detroit Cast is walking down the hall and people just know.
There was
to
one of those at
part like
ours.
the Red
Remember
Sea,
that?
man.
I think his name was Warner, maybe. Shit, I'm trying to remember.
He was a
There
real
was one
ball
guy.
buster?
Fuck yeah, he was a ball buster.
Yeah, but back then you could choke a kid, people just laughed it
Yeah.
off. Like now, if you take that kind of threat out of you, you've got to find a way without using physical violence of a child to scare the dog shit.
I don't know
out
what
of
to
them.
do without physical violence.
Let me see your mean look. Can you give a glance? You can do the rock with your eyebrow. Yeah, that's
Vice principal mean look.
just kind of fucking mean mugging everybody down the hallways. You're just
Yeah.
mean mugging all the time,
It's your job, apparently.
and you just yell across like,
Well, no,
"Hey,
you're also wait a
put
minute.
that down.
You're also
in the garbage."
whoa. You're also supposed to be supportive and try to get them away
To
from
the
bad
the hot female chicks, yes,
Sure.
but to all the guys, stop running the hallway. You get fucking the bell's about to ring. Get that
running in the
classroom.
hallway. Why was running in the hallway? Like, it just seemed like that was like one of the top priorities from
Oh, yeah.
from any teacher, or like it was just like
It's true, man.
death. Like the
Yeah.
idea of running in
You see a
the
teacher and you like stop and do that shuffle.
Yeah.
You put the brakes on.
Yeah.
Like it was.
We were all pretty good runners in the hallway. I
Was
don't
it just 'cause
remember
it
ever
was
just like careening into a set of lockers from
Right.
a simple light jog on
Was
the
it
hallway?
just because it was the easiest thing that they could like do and say they were doing
It does
something?
present an element of danger, E. Think about it.
Yeah,
People
I know.
coming out of classrooms blindly
Yeah.
getting hit by a runner.
Yeah.
How weird would that be, dude? You're sitting in your office. You're, a vice principal, Detroit Cast, sitting in his office, and it's like, the bell rings, and it's like, I gotta get out on the hallways. I don't want anyone running on the halls on my watch. Like, you have to do that once an hour. You have to get up and
Yeah,
till the
whatever
next
you-
bell
Well,
rings.
what were
and
you doing before that hour? Like during that hour,
Yeah.
what were you doing?
playing Tetris on your computer?
Right.
It's like the guy in
Solitude.
Breakfast Club, that vice principal or principal who has to watch the kids on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. It gives them all the detention.
Yeah, and you see him just sitting in his office blowing off time and shit.
Yeah.
And wasn't there a vice principal show he's just
Yeah,
on
there
Netflix?
was. Yeah. Oh no, it was on
Dude,
HBO.
there's your weapon. Detention. You've been training for this since second grade. You realize that, Jay?
King Kong.
Yeah.
King Kong Land.
I mean, you've
Was
been
first
running
mayor.
You've been running classrooms and being a dick to other students.
Dude,
for
it's so
years.
not as easy as you think it is anymore, though. I mean, honestly, Jay's like a parent who like would believe in personal responsibility, but from dealing with friends like that work in that,
I know.
dude, just giving detention is not
I
like
know.
anymore. Just like, yep, you got detention.
Can't be their kid's
Dude,
fault.
the kid can fight
Yeah.
that, and they're like, just there's so much more like to it now than just saying, dude, I saw you on your phone. Sorry, but detention after school. It's like, whoa, no, I'll call my mom and I'll say
Yeah.
that I wasn't.
Yep.
I mean, seriously.
You pulled that shit once, didn't you, E?
What?
Didn't
No.
you tell us a story about mooning
I had a
somebody?
situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and you
but here
called
was
in
the-
your mom. Oh no, my mom.
No,
They're saying I did
no,
this.
no.
And then
My
you
mom-
admitted later you actually did it.
What?
To
what-
underage
no,
kids,
no,
to,
no.
like second graders. He showed
You
his
have half,
butthole
as
to
usual.
second
You have
graders.
half the story right.
Did you or did you not show your butthole to second
Yeah,
graders?
but I
Jesus.
didn't call my mom in to defend me. My mom came in assuming I was wrong, and what happened is early in the day, the vice principal called me in, said this. Someone got some report about this. I go, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. They couldn't.
Liar.
Okay, but they couldn't prove it. I didn't do it. Well, I mean, I did, but they couldn't prove it, and I knew he couldn't prove it. And the
You're
only
a
other,
shit liar too. How did you pull that off?
I just said I didn't do it.
Wasn't it you and Chubbs?
And Chubbs was the other
Yeah.
person with me, and Chubbs got called in, and he said, Chubbs stood up for me. Chubbs said, no, he didn't do anything. And so here's the problem, though. They didn't have any adults that had seen this happen. The only quote unquote adults who I guess would be Chubbs and I. So Chubbs said I didn't do it. I said I didn't do it. Then he brings me at the end of the day and just says, yeah, well, I'm just going to have you sign the suspension thing. I'm like, whoa.
He
Where's your
apparently
proof?
didn't find you credible, E.
Well, nonetheless. Well, you know what I
he
done?
found E guilty until proven innocence.
Well, you
Prove
know,
your
you-
innocence,
you,
Jesus.
you know what I ended up pulling out as a as evidence to I pulled out some what do you call it to slam the I'm trying to think of there was a phrase I was trying to think about it to slander their name of these kids. So these kids, me and Chubbs would go on runs by the school regularly after school because I was training for some race or
Don't
something.
tell me you defamed a group of second graders.
And the thing is, I was in photography class at the time, and these kids would always regularly yell at us and shit. They would call us names and give us the finger and shit. And one
He
time,
was bullied by second grade. How old are you at this point?
I was a
High school?
I was a sophomore or junior.
Oh my God.
Sophomore, I guess.
Can you imagine
think-
what we would have done to a group
Oh.
of second graders that
And
tried
you're
that
running
shit
too.
at us?
We were
You
running.
could just run at them and scare them, right?
We were running, and so they would.
Did you ever
One
think
time
of
they
that?
gave
Just
us
running at them, you motherfuckers.
one time they gave us the middle finger, and I took a pic. And I was in photography class, so I took a picture of it. And I
You're
had,
running with your camera.
I guess, dude, I don't remember how this
Dude,
went
he's a
down,
pro
but
period runner.
But I developed the picture myself. Like I developed the picture in the darkroom at school, and I brought that image to show, like, look at dude, these kids regularly
These kids
give
have
us.
been picking on me
No,
for years.
No, what I said is like, dude, these kids regularly give us the finger. They regularly yell at us, so
This
they
is
have
the
every reason to
character they're
lie.
dealing-
They have
yeah,
every reason
yeah.
to lie.
Wow.
That's pretty damning evidence, though. If you've got actual photographic evidence of your accuser flipping you off, that's not
But
bad.
then it also places them at the scene.
Well, I mean, it was
You know,
definitely
it
there,
puts
but
them
there
in
was no
contact
question. I was
with the victims, the
Well,
actual
yeah.
victims
dude.
of his butthole.
What happened?
It does say that there was some sort of beef altercation in the past.
I will say that what happened, it was not a full mooning. It was really more just like a showing
Just your
the
butthole.
top. No, like not even that far. It's more just the top of the ass. And I remember
It
like
was a purposey.
and I went down to because the kids were bugging the fuck out of me. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna show my ass a little bit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Were
I
you
remember,
wiping on a consistent basis?
I
at this
don't
time?
know, but I remember I went to the bathroom in the school. And then all of a sudden I get out and Trump's like, dude, we got to get the fuck out of here. They're like yelling about this shit. I'm like, oh, fuck. And we just busted out of there
You went into the elementary school.
to take a bathroom after I'd done it.
Am I the only one absolutely floored that him and Chubbs are being bullied and picked on by second
Yeah,
graders?
it's
No,
kinda
they would do it to even when we were in the cross country team. Like we would run by and practices because our practice, you got to remember, like we'd get out at 2 from high school and they'd be on their last recess or whatever. So they would do it even when we were a team together. Like even when we had all of us running practice together, they would.
I want to
yell
know
at
what
us.
these second grade ball busters grew up to be. You know what I
Oh,
mean? These-
monsters.
Just absolute fucking monster
Yeah.
badasses.
I mean,
They're doing that shit in second grade.
I was terrified of everybody that was a
Yeah,
day older than me in
right.
second grade. I mean, you were
There's
terrorizing
a
students
hierarchy.
in second
There's
grade.
a hierarchy.
But I would say-
you know?
so-
It's like, oh, they're in third grade, so I can't mess with them.
Yeah,
But to some of that, my mom never really like she didn't believe like no, I didn't call my mom in or she because I was supposed to go to this run in Virginia, like this like post high school thing, and I almost didn't even get to go, even though I didn't get suspended because my mom really didn't believe it. I mean, but she was so my point is she didn't necessarily I did not call her in and have her just go.
but she
like,
had
oh,
your
well.
back. In the end, she had your back.
I don't remember. I guess she kind of said, "Well, you don't have any proof," but I mean,
Yeah.
she didn't. But like when she probably didn't want me to get suspended. But when I got out of that, she didn't really believe me. I don't think. I think she just said, "Well, you have no proof. How
Yeah.
can you suspend him?"
Well, it's nice that your mom supported you. If you remember when I swallowed a chicken bone and had to go to the hospital, my mom was like, "He's faking. He's probably
Yeah,
faking."
but you were a way bigger faker than I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a bad.
wasn't a known faker. I
Yes,
mean,
dude, you
I just didn't go to
left and right.
school. But I didn't fake
Yeah,
anything
but
about
that-
it. I just wasn't there.
Faker, belly acher.
I was
You
like,
were.
He's probably faking. You really want me to drive up there? Meanwhile,
A person who
some
would-
teacher, some assistant, like lunch lady, is trying to give me the Heimlich maneuver, but doesn't know how to do it. So she's basically just pushing on my stomach from behind and making me drink water.
Hmm.
It's terrible.
Where were we?
I don't know. We're about to start a new story.
Shooting. Yeah.
Update on another story. You know who's finally going to trial? The neo-Nazi from Charlottesville, Virginia. The one that drove the car.
Driver of the Charger or Challenger, whatever that was.
It was the same thing. Yeah. James Fields was. Why don't we remember? That name does not sound familiar to me. James Fields. Like when I say the chick's name, you'll remember her. Well, we'll get to her in a second. But anyway, he was. He's the one that at the Unite the Right rally. That bullshit thing.
Yeah.
And Heather Heyer.
I don't remember her name either.
Really? Yeah, I do. She was one of the protesters was killed when he plowed into the crowd of counter protesters. And this made famous also by Trump, like, there's good people on both sides and bad people on both sides. It was like, no, dude, it's fucking Nazis. You can't. Some good people in there.
Antifa!
And so yesterday, a lawyer for Fields, also described as a neo-Nazi, offered a glimpse of the defense strategy, and his attorney is John Hill, told a group of prospective jurors they will hear evidence that Fields thought he was acting in self-defense. I want to see that video again. He's laughing.
No, it's like, I guess you got to say something.
Yeah.
Self-defense? He's in a car driving people over.
Yeah, he did run quite a few people over, but they were banging on the hood and stuff, I think. I mean,
right.
It's troubling. It's troubling. So anyway, he's charged with first-degree murder over the death of Heyer, as well as hit-and-run charges and 8 counts of causing serious injury with his black Dodge Challenger.
It was a Challenger.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was photographed hours before the attack, and he's sitting there with a bunch of skinheads with a shield with like their logo, some white trash Nazi logo, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't know him, man. They're backing away from it. It's the Vanguard America logo. I'm not sure, but one of the hate groups that was there. Police detective testified that as he was being detained after the car crash, Fields said he was sorry, and then he sobbed when he was told that the girl had been killed. The question I had for you, Jay, though, before we get to the video, they made note in here that his attorney, John Hill, also a neo-Nazi. What if John Hill is the fucking badass of badass attorneys? Is it okay just because he's really good to hire a neo-Nazi as your attorney?
Oh man, what's your niche, dude? Like, you have that many neo-Nazi clients to keep you going? Who else would get a fucking neo-Nazi attorney?
Well, he's a weekend warrior, probably. He's at some cross burning here and a white power rally there.
No, nobody's gonna go to an overtly racist dude.
I'm telling you, dude, he's the best lawyer in the country. He can get you out of anything. Anything. You're willing to put that aside, Isis, to keep your freedom for the neo-Nazi lawyer to get you out of trouble. He's the best lawyer in the country.
But I don't understand. But why can't you go for number 2 then? Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you just be able to go for if you can afford number 1 in the country? Why can't you afford number?
Facing life in jail. You know what that means, E?
He's the only one who can get you out of it. He comes up with great defenses, like it was self-defense when he backed over a woman in his car going 40.
Yeah. She was white and he's white. Why would he want to kill another white?
Great
decent
point.
defense too. You know what I mean? If it would have been a black that he killed, this would make sense. Star Peterson. They said whose right leg was virtually crushed by the car. Has had 5 surgeries, still uses a wheelchair and a cane, sat quietly in the courtroom watching the proceedings. Wheelchair and a cane?
That's like belt and suspenders.
Yeah, right?
Wheelchair and a cane.
Wheelchair and a cane. Okay. Whatever. I'm saying it's overkill, but...
Yeah, but the ultimate sympathy if you're going to sit in a courtroom, right?
Really? If you see someone sitting in a wheelchair and they got a cane across their lap, aren't you going, all right, got it.
Some monkey business.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Shenanigans. I don't know.
Dude, they might be able to still stand on some level, dude.
The cane tells me you don't really need the chair, and the chair tells me you don't need the cane.
No, you know what, dude? That's totally ridiculous. Because in the end of Nana's life, my dead grandma, as you'll remember, she had both.
She had a walker with tennis balls.
She had a walker
right?
and a wheelchair because in reality, usually she couldn't walk. There was just times where it'd be easier for her to have her in the one, and then times it would be easier to have her in the other one.
To me, a person in a wheelchair with a cane across their legs, it's an expression of optimism, right?
It's kind of like a legless guy wheeling down the street with a pair of Nikes on his lap.
Yeah. I hope to be able to use this cane if I could.
Well, the other thing was
bad. That's okay.
The other thing, dude,
optimist.
is that it's like again in my grandma's situation, she had the wheelchair, but eventually if you got to somewhere where like the bathroom or I don't know something, like you still needed to like prop up and stand or I don't know whatever, and that cane
She
would
shit standing up. Nana
no,
shit standing
no,
up.
but
Did
I'm
she
sa-
pee standing up? Be honest.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, to get off the wheelchair and then get into the thing, you might need a cane to propel yourself.
Oh,
Nana
if you don't have a
shit
family member
standing
that'll
up.
help you up.
Yeah,
It's on her. So
that's what I'm
Carrie
saying.
Kane. Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Gotcha.
Nana. God rest her soul.
I miss her every day.
Hey, does your money work as hard as you do? You'll spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Do you know if you'll be able to retire on your terms? How could you know if you don't have a plan?
That's the best read ever.
Let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. I find myself like, if there's anything that I'm listening to and someone asks a question and they're like, that could be a response. In my head, how could you know? like
I hear that sometimes in my head too.
like something.
Do you know? Blah, blah.
How could you?
It's in the future. How could you? The name Chris Watts. He's the guy you'll remember, Jay, that murdered his wife.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Two young
Put
daughters.
his 2 young daughters in oil bins or some shit.
Yes. Shallow graves, the whole thing. Just very respectful death for them. And then on top of that, he claimed that, I got home, my wife had strangled the 2 kids, and I flipped out and I murdered her.
Right.
And they're like, no, bullshit.
Yeah, the dude was cheating with some woman and also a male prostitute who he paid to get lip injections, didn't he?
Trent, yeah, I know.
Look at this son of a bitch.
Ass wipe. Look at this poops.
I hate to pull it. What's up?
Pull it up, easy.
I don't even want to
Oh,
because
God. Look at this guy.
Who does he look like, Jay?
It's Eases with big fat
Holy
lips.
shit. E, have you been moonlighting?
Look at that plume. It's a blonde plume.
He goes, I don't want to.
Dude, you guys always say these things like people are always like, oh, this was our E. This guy.
He looks just like you.
I think we have the exact same glasses. Like, look at these glasses.
You have the
exact same glasses.
You have the exact same shit facial hair.
I know.
You used to have the exact same plume.
Yep.
Look at those lips.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, man. You look so much like a gay male prostitute. Wow.
This one is
remarkable.
Dude, this one is.
That is just
He has the same
damning.
curly hair that I do, which is blonde. That's all.
He like shaving it on the sides. God, you guys are all the same. All the same, E. So he was at so this guy, Trent Bolt, not Big E, but Trent Bolt.
Thank you for that distinction.
Says, I was in a secret gay relationship with Chris Watts, and he shared details. Trent said that he and the married father of 2 had a 10-month relationship that ended this past spring. The 2 would spend time together in a remote Wyoming cabin, said Bolt, which his mom, Colleen, confirmed. Oh, boy. So, yeah, mom did an interview with the cops as well. And she said that Watts had given her son money, and even paid for Bolt to get lip injections. And then those pictures show up. Bolt's story had been questioned by many after he first claimed that he and Watts were together in a Facebook post. Here's what happened. He goes and says, yeah, I was boo-fooing the guy at a nice romantic cabin in Wyoming. Posted that on Facebook or something. And his boyfriend saw it and had no idea that he was a male prostitute on the side, gay male prostitute on the side. So you can imagine the wedge that goes to find out that way.
Careful what you post on Facebook, everybody.
Especially if you're cheating on your boyfriend and posing as a gay male.
That was short-sighted. That was a short-sighted post.
Absolutely was. And so he gets back to his apartment, and there's a meltdown, cat fight. Get out of my house. He gets thrown out. And so now people are trying to get a hold of him. They can't get a hold of him. They don't know where he is. They thought he went away, but it was just this fight. And so, he did another interview, and the cops were like, maybe we should talk to that Big E-looking guy on the TV up there on CNN. He really seems to think that story is real. God, those lips are huge. So, and because at the time they knew about this chick you mentioned. He had some mistress, Nicole Kessinger. And, so they were searching that way. And then maybe we ought to look into this homo thing. And they did, and they found out it was true.
Yeah, they cracked the case pretty quickly.
Yeah, this poor woman. It's remember, she was on a work function in Arizona, and was her marriage was not going well, and she's like, She finds out he's cheating on her and has a mistress.
She's 6 months pregnant too.
She's
right?
6 months pregnant, 2 little girls, financial troubles. Now they're having a third kid, and she finds out he's cheating on her. And so she's like, I'm gonna go home. She like texted her friend, like, I'm gonna say this, and then she plans a romantic getaway weekend for the two of them for that next weekend to go and try and work on things.
Mhm. Well, there's this whole lead up in the summer too, where they have text exchanges where he's clear he gets to their vacation spot like a week late, you know. Oh, I got to work or whatever, and he's just banging this guy with the big lips and whoever else.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, she's like, "Oh my God, you know what happened to us? I feel like I don't know you anymore." He's like, "No, everything's fine."
God,
and he's just being distant and being a total fuckface. Just the millionth example that we talk about on this show. It's like sex is just so important to some people. It just kills me. Like this guy's just wanting strange off the side. You got a goddamn wife and kids. Like,
yeah,
if you're done with the relationship, divorce them.
I know that's the thing.
Killing your two kids, your unborn child, your wife.
Well, sex is important. Like I get that urge, but it's like, dude, walk out on her. Be a dick. Never pay child support and fucking bust down. Don't murder a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old and your wife. And honestly, and the thing is, like more than the sex pull, it's like, dude, you really think that FBI is just gonna go, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one.
Right.
Really, they're not going to check people's phones and see that you guys have been arguing about money, that your wife just found out you were cheating.
Total bonehead.
Like, dude, you really think they're not going to find out about the fucking gay male prostitute you've been hanging out in Wyoming cabins
Well, he was
with?
one of these guys though who did the news thing afterwards. Like, yeah, my wife and kids are missing.
Yeah.
And so he's on video doing that, and I never saw it, but apparently it just looks ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And so they immediately are like, yeah, he did it. It's just a matter of where are they?
Yeah.
And then they start digging around. I'm sure it took them 2 days to figure out, all right, the guy killed him, and here they are in two oil drums or some shit
On
the property where he worked. Yeah.
It's like, really, dude, really? And also does that bullshit move where a lot of them like, this is foolproof. Like, she's dead, the kids are dead, and then he's like, better call her phone. Oh, hon.
Yeah.
Leave a message. Hi, hon. Wonder what time you're gonna be home. I mean,
What a
just
monster.
and then after that phone call is when he was like, throw the bodies in the car, take them up to his work. Why wouldn't you take it to your work and bury it on the property in a shallow?
Monster. Got to go bang your gay lover and your other strange chick, right? It's worth it, dude.
Guys, if you're thinking about doing that, murdering your kids and your wife, just fucking walk out the door. Trust me, they'd rather you did that than murder a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. Unbelievable. Let's take a quick break. I got to show you this video. Well, we got another old man driving a car. And, which pedal is it again? God damn it. One of those. And then, did you see the woman in China? Got in a car accident.
Which one?
Got into a car accident.
No, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, she exited the car, but in a non-traditional way. Just say that. We'll get to that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the show. Mike and Jay.
Oh man, there's a dead meese outside. Poor little guy, he's really tiny too.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know who got him, but it appears there's puncture wounds in his side.
I wonder.
Yeah.
The culprit?
Well, I don't have video evidence, so I can't. It's not like I can arrest anybody, but he's so wee. He's just so cute.
You got to see him out there. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to fling him. Maybe Jay will fling him for me.
Never heard a mouse referred to as a meese. I thought meese were more than one moose.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just like calling him meese.
Mm.
Yeah, the Proops voice guy is kind of dumb. He calls things meese instead of mooses or mices. Yeah. Anyway, I'll deal with that later. I mentioned a video.
No, I'll flick him if you want.
Will you?
Yeah, give me an oar or something.
You can use.
Or the pool. Did you say the pool skimmer?
Pool skimmers in play.
I'd be happy to fling
Okay.
him.
The only problem, I don't mind flinging them. It's like
We
getting
need
them onto
E.
it.
Well, we need E out there. I need a target. You know.
Okay.
I can't fling without a target.
There's plenty of trees out
E.
there and stuff.
E.
Aim for the freaking
I need a
birdhouse.
moving target.
Who in the room would prefer to have a moving target named Big E?
Aye.
2-1 E. Sorry, democracy. How about this? Just off the top of my head, what if E gets down on his knees with the tail in his mouth and has the mouse dangling? I give you a bat, like a T.
Sure.
Would you do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you don't hit his face. Though.
Oh, of course not.
E.
Golf club, whatever.
E. That'd be
even
a
gonna
great
s-
extra content video.
It would be.
If you care about the show, who would
Well,
like
I
to see
don't
E
care
with a
then.
rat tail hanging out of his mouth
Aye.
and Jay hit it with a baseball
Aye.
bat? Aye.
Well, I don't care about the show.
Eyes
then,
outnumber
so-
nays.
Okay. Well,
Is there a way we could protect, like put saran wrap in his mouth so that he doesn't actually have to have the rat in his mouth?
Sure, that's a good idea.
All right.
A
All right.
baggie of sorts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it, E. After the show, we'll put it on extra content for members.
It's either that or you wear a football helmet. We tie the tail around the front of the
Face
mask, and then Jay could hit it off.
That works too.
But you got to tie it.
Yeah, you got to tie
You
the
gotta
tail.
tie
I'm
the
not
tail.
touching a
Touch
dead
that.
mouse.
Gross. Woo.
Woo.
Oh, wait. Even though it's cute.
Ugh.
Cute as can be.
Gives me the willies.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
We'll figure it out, and hopefully if E stops, taking a knee on things, we'll have some great video for later.
Speaking of food, Hamlin Pub just rolled out a new menu this month. Try their new culinary creations, which include Southwest Cobb salad, candied Brussels sprouts, Mike, Korean steak tacos, chicken share,
Chevry.
or the big brisket sandwich. Or start your day with an award-winning backyard Mary Bloody Mary.
We got a wife in China, and she's with her husband. All we know, his name is Pan. That's all we know.
My wife's really going to be upset about this.
Pan got a little tipsy.
Mm.
Got a shit faced. Yes, very good. Only had 1 or 2 drinks. And he gets hammered. And for some reason, he and Pan get into an argument, which is always good when you're drunk driving, to get into an argument with your wife. And then he crashed the car. Car rammed into the side of the road, flipped in the air, and men tossed her in the passenger seat. Dash cam shows a man yelling in the car, "What are you? How much money does your father give me?"
What?
Yeah, doesn't it seem like a weird thing? Who are you? What are you?
What are you?
Yeah, what are you? And then, how much money does your father give me? Seems like a weird thing to be arguing about. I wonder if Pan
I'm confused.
is Pan upset that his father-in-law is not giving him enough money?
Mm.
I mean, you don't get mad at Paul. He just gives you paper.
Yeah, but
products.
this is an American. Maybe there was a Chinese custom here, Mike. Maybe was this a arranged marriage where there's supposed to be money be
Where you
given?
exchange like bushels of wheat and dromedaries.
Maybe, yeah. Well, whatever it is, Pan is not happy about the amount of cash being supplied to him
Mhm.
for some reason.
By the way, for the record, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I have made a formal offer of several bushels of wheat, rice, and dromedaries to Marisa and her husband
Oh,
for
yeah.
their firstborn daughter.
yeah.
To hook
Not,
up with Russell. you know,
Russell,
not
yeah,
for me. Not for me.
It was like, Jay,
Yeah,
come on,
Not for me.
come on. I know she looks 26, but I don't think she is.
The offer is outstanding.
Have they responded in kind yet?
They haven't formally countered. Once they do, though, if it's reasonable, I will accept.
Is that legal in the country? Like if you
Oh,
if
yes,
you and
very
Michael
much.
and Marisa
I know,
and
why-
Gab got
why
into a
wouldn't it
nice
be?
handshake agreement over
My
dinner.
word is as strong as oak.
Yeah, and it's like, no, that's it, Russ. You can't meet her yet. We're gonna wait a few years, but
It'll be better this way.
dude, it probably would be because she's beautiful. He's a good looking kid. Save the whole game. Fuck the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Put the game aside.
Yeah.
Just got to
the
come up
game-
with dromedaries.
The game is too fucking rigged nowadays anyways.
Yeah.
You can't even say hello to a girl without being accused of something nefarious. You know what I mean? And the way he looked at me, I feel like I was raped.
So a couple of years down the line, we could make that happen.
Anyway, going back to Pan and his beautiful wife, again, fighting over the father-in-law's not giving Pan enough money or something. You want to see what happened? They got into a little fender bender. You got the video there?
Are you talking about the one where they were this? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I mean, I gave you the story.
Okay. I don't know. I got confused.
Oh my, they're cooking. Oh shit. Ah.
Okay.
A second angle. I'm always wanting a second angle. Oh my gosh.
Yep. I told you it was pretty rough.
When you hear about people being ejected from cars, wow, that's how it looks, huh? Just ragdoll.
Look at that. Woo!
And then right under the fence.
Yeah.
Insult to injury, huh?
Now it's a wood fence with flat tops. Had that been a spiky thing,
Dude, even with flat, how was he not impaled, right?
That's the wife.
Oh, that's the wife.
It looks fun at that point. Wee! Doesn't that part look fun until the landing? Like, honestly, be honest. If that was a ride at Cedar Point, you'd go on it.
My lord. And now she's standing?
Like she's a fun. Yes. Very good. I can see why he asked, "What are you?" I'm confused too. Looking at her.
I'm very confused.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
That's a butchy looking Chinaman.
Yeah.
China woman. There it goes.
Hey.
Bam.
That first part popping out, it's like Pop Goes the Weasel.
I can't believe that's that person right there standing after that.
Yep.
That's an amazing crash.
Look right here. Wee!
Boom.
Wow.
Fine. Totally fine.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he did not do well. Boy, that car's gonna.
You could have hit your head on this rock, the stone here.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. There's so many more places.
If that was your car before you got it, Jay. That's probably what someone did in your car.
Yeehaw!
Woo! Dude, that guy is hauling balls.
Yeah, that was going much faster than I expected when you first described this.
Yep. Another situation. I don't know why we've seen so many of these lately, but one person's dead. At least 6 people are killed in Manhattan, the Chinatown area, which is
Chinatown.
Chinatown, yeah. Guy was trying to parallel park here. Hold on, let's tuck into this spot. And then for some reason, out of nowhere, for the first time in 60 years, the guy forgets which pedal is which.
First time in 60 years.
All of a sudden, he just goes flying into a packed fucking, because they got one of those fruit stands.
Yeah.
And you can imagine.
Why isn't there video of this?
I know. There probably is, dude, to be honest with you. I mean,
damn it. I thought you were about to pull up video. God damn it.
One person's dead. I don't know. Some people got stuck under the car.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It sounded like a big boom. People were screaming. It's a minivan, too. And all kinds of pedestrians standing around that fruit stand.
It's in Chinatown in New York, you said?
Yeah. Yep. It's at the intersection of Anal Street and Forsyth.
Got it.
Yeah.
I can picture that. Yeah.
Shortly before 7 p.m. And the guys, if you're in your 70s and you're even, why, I just don't understand why it's like once you hit it, why your reaction would be, whoa, that wrong one. And just at least take your foot off it. Why do they keep it floored? And then just like, well, I guess we're just going to see where this goes.
Must be something about trying to look back and back into something made them all confused, right?
Yeah, it's got to be very confusing in the moment. Like reaction time isn't. It's that one, and the other story is the fucking guy Chris that murdered his wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, how can you possibly not see where this is going to end up? How can you? Do people really think that they're so in their own head that they think they're going to be able to get away with that?
The pull of puss and gay sex apparently is strong, Mike.
Well, no one's pulling his dick out of a guy. I mean, he can still do that.
This says this is, you don't really see much to me, but this is from this story.
Surveillance video obtained shows driver backing down street and crashing into fruit stand.
But it's only like 6 seconds, and I don't know, when I watched it.
Well, Jesus, this could be a very critical 6 seconds.
Yeah, I know, but when I watch it, I just.
Oh, there he goes.
Dude,
but that's like
he's hauling ass.
Yeah.
That is inexcusable.
That's not
Look at him go. Ah! That's enough time for your brain to register. Whoop, wrong pedal.
But again, you know what though? I know we've said every time when you talk about these old people's stories doing this, you say it's enough time to register, but like I don't think he's gonna get in the end he'll lose his license and stuff, but he's not gonna, right?
He might need his license to
get. He's not gonna get manslaughter or anything. They'll just say he's an old man.
Yeah.
If he hasn't had issues before, if he hasn't had any issues before.
Oh, believe me, if he's plowed into a bunch of pedestrians outside a fruit stand before, I'm not gonna be cool with him just getting off.
He's a mass murderer. Look at
Yeah.
him go. Is that a minivan? Did you say?
Yeah.
It's like a minivan.
Yep. I believe it's a Dodge. Yeah, we've had that discussion before. Like, what age do you have to be where they'll go, you,
Right.
get out
Well,
of
I think
here.
it also depends. I mean, the problem is if someone was dead now, that's a big difference
Yeah,
between
where
just
they're-
running into.
No,
a,
I
like
think
a-
you can. If you're a certain age, I think you can murder.
I still think
I
you
think
can.
you
I
can-
agree that you can too. It depends on.
You can't stab or shoot them, but in the
I think
car,
they'll still convict you, but what will the judge sentence you to? You know what I mean? If there's some like 85-year-old lady.
Who hasn't had an issue before? If you haven't
Yeah.
had an issue before, it's not like if you've
what
been
is
running
he gonna
over
sentence
people.
You, to? You can't have any fruit cake over the holidays. I mean, what are you gonna do to him? You're not gonna throw in the general pop.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not gonna do well. He's not.
Probably not.
Yeah, dude. I'm sorry. I think that is enough time. And if they
Yeah,
said,
but the confusion just grows on itself.
When
You're
you're
like, oh
old,
my God,
dude.
this is like now I'm going really fast. Ah!
stop the ride,
Yeah.
I want off.
Yeah, I don't think the length of it honestly matters. And they
It
say that
doesn't.
in those stuck
You guys are-
accelerator cases, a lot of those, we talked about this the other day, it was shown that a lot of those, when investigated, like the person just didn't take their foot off the accelerator and or touch the brake. They're confused. It's like, fuck! Oh my God, this thing's stuck! And dude, hit
Yeah.
the brake.
Yeah.
Hit the fucking brake.
Mike, you could talk about old people. We can talk about it all you want, but or for every time we do this. But dude, when I had my grandpa and he got to the point
Papa, God rest his soul.
where it started to be like, dude, he shouldn't be driving. It would be like someone would pull in front of him. I don't know, half a mile
Dude,
ahead, and it'd be like, whoa,
yeah.
what's this guy
Yes.
doing here? What's this guy doing here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that with my grandpa too. Remember the mother I'm merging?
Yeah, I love that
Yeah,
guy.
he couldn't turn his neck, so when he got on an on-ramp,
Yeah.
mother, I'm merging, and she
Yeah.
would go, it's fine, Sam, move on over, and he'd merge in. But yeah, that dude, exactly like Papa, like he just described,
Like, dude,
half a mile up, guys turning into
what are
a
these
thing,
guys
and
doing?
what the fuck? We're like locking
Lock
him up
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's
See,
just craziness.
I get the lock him up at a yellow, or guy turns out.
Then why don't
half
you
out.
get the I'm confused?
Well,
and-
because they're usually driving like 20 on the freeway, and it's like or locking them up because someone pulled out in front of them 200
The
yards
mind,
ahead.
dude. It's just the mind is gone at
Well,
some level.
I know, but I don't know. I'm just not willing to. I think he might have wanted to murder people at a fruit stand because, dude, that's a block. We saw him for a block, and I didn't know cars could go
He
that
was
fast in
cooking.
reverse.
He was cooking.
I didn't
mean,
know they could go that fast.
Yeah, he had
and
it
he's
floored.
floored.
If-
And he's trying to parallel park. Sir, your parallel parking days are over.
Now, if you're going with see, that's the difference. If you're going with an argument that an old man at some point has made the decision, dude, this is my time. I have one time in my life where I'm not going to get really taken seriously, and that's your argument, then that's one thing. If you're saying that this dude saw this as his opportunity to have a moment to back
Well,
the fuck into shit and be like,
I mean,
oh, damn.
was the guy possibly in the war? Maybe he had some harboring, and he was like, once I get to a certain age, I'm taking all those chinks out myself.
Heading down to Chinatown.
So he goes just
Yeah,
he
'cause
gets
that's-
himself a brand new Dodge Caravan, goes down to Chinatown. I'll show these gooks.
taking him down to Chinatown in Chinatown, Mike?
Hell yeah, that'll send a message. Because that looked like he's been practicing that move. You know what I mean?
He's cooking.
Ugh. Give me 6 tries. I couldn't have hit those people going that
Gentlemen.
fast in reverse.
Douglas!
Hey, are you ready, Jesus?
And then we're
Gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Take it away, Jesus.
Doug.
Well done, Isis.
Now's the time. Contact Realtor Doug Steinert. It's a great time to sell your home. As always, call him at 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with and is a great friend of the show. Call Douglas today, 248-765-1781.
God, video emerged. You see this? By the way, can we be done with these baby reveal parties? Where people are like going to reveal the
right.
idea, and it's like, the pink balloon comes out of the
Yeah,
giant
that
box.
shit came after my kids, or if it was around, I didn't
Gross.
know about it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's was a big thing, I guess.
There's so many
it
of these
still-
big
they're
things.
still
now,
doing
dude.
it,
Yeah,
right?
of course they are.
Well,
Yeah,
it's Instagram made, right? It's
Yeah.
perfect for Facebook.
yeah, you get a cake, and we open a box, and it's either pink cake or blue cake.
Dude,
yeah, we know
ba-
what the kid is.
maternal photos, dude. These people that have to go and take fucking photos
Every month, showing their
yeah,
bump getting
give
bigger.
me a
yeah.
break.
No one wants to see.
How
your
about this?
bump.
Here's a trend that's growing, and I've seen probably 3 of these now, where the groom is tapped on the shoulder. He turns around thinking he's going to see his beautiful bride, and there is a
Hold
groom.
on, I don't want to laugh this hard. I just don't want to laugh.
Get
this
ready, Mike. There is a groomsman dressed as the bride, fully bearded, surprising the groomsman and cracking everyone up.
Stop it.
It's not the bride, it's the
Nonsense.
groomsman. Yeah.
Oh, it's Bill in a wedding dress. You got me. Did you
Dude,
lean in and kiss him at that point? Oh, Bill.
I've been having this talk with, and I know we've talked about on the show so many times. I had a talk about someone with this lately where it's like, I am so not like the progressive person that we kind of talk about, the guy that, worrying about he and she and this and that. But on the same hand, man, it is just so easy to hate fucking white. That we make it so easy on ourselves to be made fun of. Like, these were gender reveal parties. I saw some.
Is that a white exclusive sport? The gender reveal party?
I mean,
I gotta believe
I
so,
believe
yeah.
that it
heavily
basically,
white sport, but I don't know that it's exclusive.
Dude, I saw someone the other day post some Thanksgiving thing, and it was like their plates. Clearly, they had not set this up themselves. Set up for about 10. The plates were on fucking like chopped
Jesus,
tree.
no race comes close to the douchiness that
I know,
white people can
and that's
dish
my
out.
point. Like,
No race.
Is there an Asian couple on the planet that would do this? I can't think of one.
Gender reveal?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you see an
guess
Asian couple doing
I
that?
guess I could see that.
And that's
I
where the
cannot.
privilege, in a
No.
sense, like the idea of privilege does kind of sink into my brain a little. Because you know why? You know why
Does
the
it go to
Asians
privilege?
don't do
We're
that?
not denying
No,
other
no, no.
races.
That's no, but here's the
opportunity.
thing.
I think it's ego.
Here's
I think
the reason.
ego.
You know why some of these other people don't have to do that? Because they're fucking working their butts off to fucking feed their work 2 jobs
Wow,
and help
that's
their
pretty
family
stereotypical,
Yeah.
and shit.
sure is.
Oh,
No,
wow.
but it's
the
like,
Asians, they work hard.
well, and Americans don't
Wow.
have to because we.
Oh boy. To keep going down this road.
White Americans don't have to because we got
No, I
it
could
handed
see a
to us.
Chinaman in this scenario, gender reveal, it's a girl, and him just punching her in the stomach.
Yeah,
There you go.
Too busy doing math all day. Don't have time for gender reveal parties.
You know what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah,
We got a privilege,
it's
man.
it's not privilege.
But it's
It's
something.
just
the-
douchiness. It's a
no-
level of fucking douchiness and it's this motivation to be on fucking social media.
You know what it is? It's ego thinking that anybody besides you and the fat chick next to you gives a flying fuck about what your baby's gonna be. Your immediate family, maybe. Why is that postable? No one
Mm.
gives a shit.
It's
No
an
one cares.
event.
You know-
People are always looking for these postable events, right?
See, here's the
I
thing, though.
think-
Here's
I think
the
you're-
thing.
Hold on, E. Hold on.
Okay.
I think you're setting the stage. What you're doing is you're making all of us, Steve. You're making all of us be like. You're like, you find out from your doctor, and you're just like, nah, it's a boy. You call all your friends and family. Your wife's like, real nice. Because we guess we won't be having a gender reveal party like
Right.
Steve.
Right.
No, stop it. Knock it off.
Is it an opportunity for gifts? Is that what it is? It's like a baby shower?
If this is a fucking gift grab, dude,
Could be.
stop it. What we've already got to do it for your dumb wedding, your first
Well,
wedding,
you have
and your
baby
second
showers.
wedding.
You've heard of baby showers,
There's
right?
diaper
Mike?
parties now, obviously. I mean,
Is
there's
gender reveal just another baby shower? I don't know.
What is a fucking diaper party?
dude. That's where like,
Dude, it's
when-
actually quite practical.
actually,
Really?
when do you think
Everybody
about it?
brings didiapers. I mean, diapers are so
Versus- no,
expensive.
versus
You know what?
bro-
If you can't afford your own damn diapers, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be having kids. Sorry. Yeah, I have all my friends over for a diaper party. What asswipe thought of that for the first time?
Well, like Jay said, though, honestly, if
Probably
you're
on
gonna
Pinterest.
out of things, if you're gonna do a diaper party, is better than a baby shower where you just buy stupid, you
yeah,
know.
I'd rather walk away with shit you can use instead of dumb little onesies that the kid's gonna wear once before growing out of.
Yeah. Well, this gender reveal party in Arizona. If
Did it
you're-
go Ari?
If you're in a desert area with torched grass everywhere,
Yeah.
probably not the best idea to load a shotgun with tenorite. And what you're
Started
gonna
a
do?
forest fire, didn't he?
You're gonna blow a box up and it's gonna explode with a color.
Mm.
It's also gonna burn 47,000 acres and cost $8.2 million to fix and have 800 firefighters a week to put out. But we got to know what the baby was gonna be.
Yeah, look at how arid that is,
Dude,
right?
how does no one in this party go, hey Bill,
We shouldn't drop sparks on this.
Hold on. I wouldn't feel comfortable flicking a cigarette over here, man.
I don't care if they're pink or blue. I don't think any spark should hit this ground.
I think we should just leave now, man. I gotta be honest with you. Something just doesn't feel right about this.
I am dying to know, though, Mike. Is it a boy or a girl?
Well,
Let's find out.
can't you just tell us if it's a boy or a girl? You obviously know. I'd rather not. You know, that looks really dry. I gotta be honest.
I'm going to go
That's a
boy
tall-
on this one. I'm going to go boy.
All right.
And here comes the shotgun. Right?
soon.
Huh.
He's not a very good shot. Takes him like 3 shots.
Seriously?
No.
Boom! Oh,
yeah.
fuck, did he blow that up?
Yeah.
And
Fun,
there
yes.
goes-
And that
I
went up
barely
There
saw the
goes
blue,
the
to be
desert
honest
fire.
with you.
went up quick,
I
didn't
know. Was it blue? Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
it was
it was
blue, but
Yeah, oh, yeah, okay.
who's
Yeah.
to say blue's for boy?
it? And that fire has already torched 14 acres at this point.
8.42 million, you said?
8.2 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't want to overstate it.
Off
What
of
an
that-
asshole.
Dude, he is a border agent. How could a border agent be that dumb? Look at that fire. Honestly, it's already out of control. Just let it go. It's off and running now. So
How many
yeah,
acres?
47,000.
Oh, God.
Yep, 8.2 million, 800 firefighters a week to put that out. He is on the hook. He was found guilty. He is on the hook for how much, do you think? How much do you want him on the hook for?
$8.4 million.
8.2 million? Yeah.
8.2, sorry. I
Well,
overstated
8.4.
it.
Why don't we do 8.4? Could lawyer costs?
restitution.
Yeah, lawyer costs. He's getting off. Let's see, what was it? And I'm not saying this is fun, but I think 200 grand.
Okay.
He's been fined. Are we comfortable with that?
That'd be brutal. Think of that.
Dude, can you imagine getting you open your mailbox?
Judgment.
$200,000 bill sitting there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So,
But he
Yeah.
did burn 47,000 acres.
I know. And his wife Rita got to announce to family and friends, what it's
Yeah.
gonna be. I mean, you can't put a price tag
I
on
think
that.
I mentioned the other day Rhode Island is 900 and some thousand acres. He just burned 47,000.
Yeah, that's old Dennis Dickey. You know Dennis Dickey. Anytime he can pull a shotgun out, that's old Dennis Dickey. He's gonna do it.
Danish.
I'm gonna load it with Tannerite too. Woo doggy. So yeah, let's see. He is set to pay $220,000 in restitution after pleading guilty in federal court. It was a complete accident. I feel absolutely horrible about it. It was probably one of the worst days of my life. Second only to when my wife said she was pregnant. It sucked pretty bad too. I'm gonna have to have a whole lot of diaper parties because I'm on the hook for 200 grand now. They'll garnish his wages.
Yeah.
I mean, federal court ruling. Oh boy, he's in trouble now. Poor guy. Did you see Casey Anthony's father?
Yeah. What car accident?
Yeah, a little bit of a fender bender.
Of course, this is the same father she chucked under the bus during her murder trial.
They don't have much of a relationship nowadays. Yeah,
That's interesting.
he was medevaced. Ooh, anytime they bring the medevac in to a Daytona Beach hospital on Saturday.
God, that really does change the context of everything. When you say medevac.
Yeah,
When
right.
you say serious car accident and then medevac.
What sounds worse to you, medevac or Jaws of Life?
Medevac.
Really, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Jaws of Life is fucking brutal too.
It is.
Jaws of Life, it's like, oh man,
Yeah, those are the two things you don't want to hear in a car crash story.
yeah.
Jaws of life and wrong way driver.
Oh, yeah, forget it.
Head on
Oh,
collision. Wrong way driver. Jaws of life medevac.
rollover?
Yeah, I mean, but as we saw in China, at least you can survive a pretty brutal.
Cars are
rollover.
pretty decently built for rollovers versus like just full on wrong way driver.
Well,
like
they
you
are
said.
now. If you're driving a 99 Toyota Runner, what 4Runner or whatever, like he was.
That's what he was in, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, if you have to be in a car crash, best case scenario, it's fender bender. Fender bender
Sure,
is what you want.
that's what you want.
You start working your way up to roll over, multiple car pile up.
Multiple vehicle accident. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
sure.
bad. And then when you start getting into the jaws of life and medevac. it's-
T-bone. You hear T-bone.
Oh, yeah. I've been into T-bone.
Oh, I have too.
Yeah, it's not fun. My fault too. Sorry about that. Whoever that was that I made T-bone me. So yeah, there were he's suffered incapacitating injuries. I don't want that said either.
Yeah.
Incapacitating injuries doesn't sound good.
No.
I mean, wow. Anyways, so his car flipped multiple times, cooking on the road, and he was trying to get back into his lane. And he like kind of dozed off the road, trying to get back into his lane, overcorrects, flips multiple times. There you
Dude,
go.
it's funny, like, honestly, though, like, I don't know this situation, but, like, we just take for granted some of that shit. Like, dude, you're driving late. You can fall asleep a lot faster than we all realize. We all just think it won't happen to us, And if you fall asleep for just a split second,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit, and then boom, and now you're fucking just rolling. like,
those rumble strips have saved me a time or two.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely they have. The crash, by the way, so 911 calls start coming in, and they say the first one got disconnected before they could say anything to the operator. And I'm like, well, how do you know they were calling about that? You know what I mean? Like, oh, the first 911 call that came in wasn't able to talk to the thing before it got disconnected. I was like, okay.
They can pinpoint the location. Like,
You think?
I think so.
Another one didn't stop. They were too scared. They just kept hauling. Not a bad play. I saw it. I'm reporting it.
Call this one in.
Doing my civic duty, but I am not.
I mean, what do I know? What do I know about this?
I don't want to be involved.
You would, E.
Dude, think about this, by the way,
E
now.
probably wouldn't even call. Like,
No,
I
that's
don't
not
even want to
true,
call
but
in.
It's not true. But think about this now. Like, they called, but they didn't want to stop. If they had stopped, now they're sitting there with Casey Anthony's dad.
They're in the news story now.
Right.
They're international news.
They just thought it was somebody, and it's Casey
Turns out
Anthony's
to be this big star. What's your point, E? So what?
It just
So it's
kind of,
Casey Anthony's dad.
wouldn't it be a little different? Though,
Yeah,
dude,
it's a little surreal.
it'd be
Like,
a little
wait,
funny,
reading
wouldn't
the
it?
story.
Like,
And-
that'd be a story.
I mean-
No, see, my point is, like, they called, didn't do anything. Dude, everyone's trying to sit at the bar and tell some story. You have a story the rest of your life if you're like, dude, I stopped, I saw this rollover. Who was it? Casey Anthony's dad.
Take a
No
guess, man. I'll
shit.
give you 100 guesses. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
First round's on me. Yeah. So, so anyway, these coming in. One lady says, yeah, I saw him suffer a seizure. He seized.
Oh, did
I'm
you? But she didn't do
on
anything?
the free, how the hell would you see someone seize right before that?
Hmm.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
But she called it in, or she just called later and said, oh, yeah, I saw that car. Like, why?
I don't know. I think she just called it. She might have been the one that was too scared
Okay.
to stop. It just kept going, which I don't have a problem with. She did her job. She called it in. So Anthony was wearing both a shoulder and a lap belt. Isn't that just a seatbelt?
Yeah.
Don't we usually just combine those into one word?
I think
seatbelt?
so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe they needed, maybe the writer of the story had a certain amount of characters he had to use. So he decided to go with lap belt and shoulder belt. But anyways, get this though. The airbag didn't deploy.
Ooh.
So he's belted and the airbag doesn't go off. That's got to be worth a pretty penny, right?
In a 99? I don't. Do you really expect a 99 airbag to go? Did you say it was a 99?
Yeah. He was
Almost
in a 99
almost 20-year-old car.
Toyota Ford.
Honestly,
Hey,
I
man,
wouldn't expect a 20-year-old airbag to go off in my
if
car.
it had gone off before and a new one wasn't put in, yes, I would expect it not to go off. But if one is in there and it hasn't previously been deployed, I think it's fair to expect that a 99 Toyota 4Runner would have a functioning airbag.
Okay.
No?
I never thought. Yeah, sure. Never thought about it.
Yeah, me either. Until
It lasts
this damn
forever,
story.
I guess. Sure.
Do they have an expiration date? They're not like a fucking
I
banana
don't know.
bunch.
Shit wears out, Shit wears out.
Then the light should come on. Like, what are the
There's a lot
idiot
of
lights?
mechanisms, Mechanisms go bad.
Oh, dude, fruit goes bad. Airbags don't go bad, I wouldn't think. So it's recall time. That's the case. So, anyways, yeah, what did she say? Like, didn't in the trial, people know what we're talking about, right? Casey Anthony and the little girl Kaylee was murdered and, was found like.
What it appears was being done was Casey Anthony was an immature bitch who had this little girl,
Oh, no.
little 3-year-old or
This
something.
was your favorite title story. Was it
What do you
Tot
think?
Mom?
Oh, Top Mom, yeah, is the title that what's her name, Nancy Grace gave
yeah.
her. But yeah, so she wanted to go out and party all the time, and so she was knocking her kid out using some sort of drugs.
Yeah. That's
And
what the dad
They
thinks.
speculate that she OD'd her or something, found the
Mhm.
dead body, and then I think transported the body around
Yeah.
long enough where her mom
Yes.
smelled her car
Yeah.
Spelled death.
like
Yeah.
weeks later as if there was like a
Absolutely.
dead body in this car.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what was in here? Oh my God.
Yeah. And she went out there and was just like, it was literally the smell of death. And she was like, what did you do? What did you
Yeah.
do? And then in court, their defense was, because she's free today, the defense was, yeah, we think the dad buried Casey after the baby accidentally drowned in the pool.
Yeah.
And then,
There was allegations of abuse between the dad and Casey. It was
Yeah.
really ugly.
between which one's his daughter? Kaylee, is that Casey?
Casey.
Yeah, he supposedly was sexually abusing her as a young child. And Dad's like, oh, nice. Yeah. Accused me of fucking raping my own daughter and burying my grandchild. Really? And so they don't speak at all. The mom still sneaks in an occasional call with the girl, but yeah, he says I don't believe that she drowned in the pool. That's a bunch of bullshit to me. He did an A&E interview, I guess, last year. That's too easy of a story to bring up, because if that would have happened, I think my daughter would have at least had the common decency to come inside and call 911 and say something like, my daughter's in the pool. I can't
Yeah.
get her out. I need help. He then explained how he arrived at the belief that young Kaylee had been drugged. Very healthy girl, very healthy child, but there were times that she would sleep for 10, 12, 13 hours at a time. Makes no sense to me. That's a long time for a kid to sleep, right?
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Poor little one.
Wasn't she like wrapped in a garbage bag and buried like with her face duct taped and shit?
Just kind of like in a, not even a shallow grave. I think she was just kind of dumped in a swampy area.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the house, actually.
Ugh, terrible. Terrible. Do we have one or two emails, Jay, we can get to?
A couple emails here.
Yeah.
Jim writes in.
Hi,
Fit,
Jim.
fat, and fuckstick. Eric is an idiot. His recent rant about LCA not using real tickets is fake news. I've attached a picture of the tickets my wife and I used to attend Fleetwood Mac in October. Note that they are still the old school cardboard style paper they have always been. I purchased these tickets from LCA over the phone, and they mailed them to me. When we arrived at LCA, we found that one of our tickets was missing. We found out later that it had fallen out of the envelope at home. So we went to the box office. Something else that fuckstick says LCA doesn't have.
I actually didn't say that, but whatever.
Presented them with our receipt, and they
That's
printed
not what
us a
I
new
said
ticket
at
in
all.
about 30 seconds. The box office is just down from Kid Rock's restaurant. Has he never heard of will call? There will always be a will call. Therefore, there will always be a box office. By the way,
not true.
I called
That's
the LCA box office today, and they are still there and have no plans to close. You dumbass!
You fucking asshole!
Why are
like
you
for
lying
one,
to the
I
audience
didn't.
like
I
that?
didn't even say that they didn't have a box office still.
Pretty sure you did.
And LCA is the one who made this. We read it on this show at one point as a story that LCA wasn't going to have paper tickets
It
anymore.
was for the Wings games, I believe. It was
Yeah.
specific
Okay,
to-
well, I didn't
So,
remember
maybe
that,
Wings
so
and
it
Pistons.
wasn't. It was just a mistake. I didn't proclaim anything, and I certainly didn't say there was no box office. I said I didn't know, actually. So
Well,
maybe you should listen better.
Well, you alluded to the fact that there might not be a box office.
I
which
said
got people
maybe,
going,
but I said I
"Oh,
don't know.
Well,
So that's not me
just
saying.
by saying that, you planted the seed that the
No.
box office does not
No.
exist in LCA.
Not what I did.
God damn it, E. Take some personal responsibility
I
when you
will
make an error.
I didn't make an error.
Quick 5-minute apology to the audience, and we move along. You know the drill.
Go
No,
ahead.
thank you. No, thank you.
Floor,
Well-
yours. Go.
I forgive you, E.
I-
I personally forgive you.
I forgive him too. God damn it.
It's going into a stew. Get the
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Potatoes and
I
carrots.
almost don't even.
It's going
I
in.
need to see those pictures. I actually don't know that I want to see.
Oh, now
that.
you're calling listeners liars.
Yeah, I kind of do want to
Look
see
at
it.
those classic
that
cardstock
looks
type
nice.
tickets. Beautiful.
It's good to know.
What's
actually.
the date? That date isn't like 1989 or something, is it?
No, that's October 30th, 2018.
Well, that's
Just mere weeks ago.
yeah, that's not that long ago at all.
Yeah. At
What
Little
show was he
Caesars
going
I'd
Arena.
like to dive
Fleetwood
through.
Mac.
Fleetwood Mac, yeah.
I'd love to just dive through this gentleman's life, and I'm sure he doesn't get anything wrong. He's always
Jim, no.
right.
Revenge is what you're talking about on a listener.
Yeah,
Or
I
simply
am.
calling out an error that you had.
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Let's see.
Not very Christian like of you, E. Not very Christian like.
Well, what are you gonna do?
You could rip on his seats, E.
Oh, no.
Terrible.
Oh, no.
I don't.
Where's he
I
at?
don't know what section is what, so I can't say.
Dang it. I want to know where he's sitting. Is he on the third deck?
I don't know what section is what. It's 225, so I don't know if that's.
Well, it's not one, so.
Doesn't say floor.
Yeah, but some twos can be better than one,
Right.
right? Because if one's on the floor,
Yeah.
Depends, I
you
guess.
know, some floor seats kind of blow.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
would
wasn't even saying
agree.
floor.
E, I'll use your Eric Church floor seats as an example
have floor
from
seats.
over at the Palace. You didn't?
No. I don't like floor seats for concerts. I think they're honestly. I think
I thought you took that listener chick.
lower level, not in the floor.
Could have sworn you.
Why
said were on
wouldn't
the
you
floor.
like floor, dude? You're like 6'3". Like me being on the floor is a problem.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. You know what? I don't like floors when they're seating, when it's seating, because then most people want to. I don't know. It just gets annoying. I don't like sitting. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like it.
Just
I don't.
like general admission?
I like
floor.
if it's general admission floor. I love it.
Is it the fact that you get to fold your sheet down when you sit down?
I don't
if you're
know.
In the, if you're in the stadium, I always love that part.
Do you?
Flip my sheet down. No, I was thinking I was in your head.
Oh, I don't know.
Save the rest for tomorrow.
Very good. Is this your homework for today? Is to look up where Section 220 is? Just give you some nice ammo to come hard at this guy for your revenge tour tomorrow.
I'm gonna take the high road and not worry about it.
We should stop taking the high road, E. All right. Well, hopefully we can get E on video with the mouse.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
Mies.
absolutely.
God, it feels like 2 days ago, but yeah, we'll do that. Hopefully you guys will join us tomorrow too.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.